Hey guys, Lindsay from Lucky Bird Photo here. For those of you who don't know, I am a photographer. I specialize in engagements and weddings and proposals, and I am based out of Toledo, Ohio, which is Northwest Ohio. And my ultimate goal is just to help my couples have a stress-free day. So today I wanted to talk to you guys on this lovely Tuesday about if you need one photographer or if you need two photographers for your wedding. There's quite a debate. I feel like if people think that one is enough, if they need two, and I just wanted to share my insight with you guys and let you guys know what I think about everything. So ultimately, I think that you do need two at times. So do I think you need two photographers all day? No, I do not. But I really, really feel strongly about having two photographers when it comes to your ceremony. When you're standing up at the aisle and your partner is walking down the aisle to greet you, you want two people documenting that moment. Like, that moment is such a big deal, and it's epic. Like, there's no other way to like describe the feelings that you have when this huge moment happens. And I honestly feel like you need to. So when I am with another person and we're documenting a wedding, one person will be standing up at the front capturing whoever's up at the front, and one person will be either in a pew or behind the person that's walking down the aisle, so we get more of a second point of view. And both of those, me and that other person are capturing both people, but from different angles. And if somebody puts their hand up to their mouth and gasps or cries or something, maybe one of us didn't catch it in that split second that it might have happened, and the other person did. So I genuinely, truly feel like you need two people at that time. Another time that I feel like you need two people is right after. If you're doing your family photos right after, that is a critical time to have two people. And what I mean by having two people is you don't need two people photographing at that time, but you need two people to be there that have a photographic eye. When I do family groupings, I'm always taking the photos, and then my second photographer for the day, they are posing people. So they're posing people, and they are making sure the hands are, where we want them, and bouquets are where we want them, and necklaces are straight, and that everything looks good. And for me to do that on my own, it's a lot of me putting the camera up to my face, realizing that something's wrong, having to walk over, having to fix that, having to reframe that photo, get it ready to go. So it's a lot of back and forth. So is it possible for me to do it? Yes. But on top of that, I'm also calling out the groups, that you want. Like I said, posing those people, composing the shots, and then getting the shots. And if I take a shot and then I realize something's wrong, I have to go all the way over there again, do all that again, and then come back and then like reframe that and repose that for everything. So it's possible. It takes up a lot more time. I've done it by myself before, and it takes up a lot more time than when there's two of us. And so that person at the time that's helping me does not have a camera in their hand. They are strictly, what looks good, what we've done before, how to pose, you're calling off those names, you're telling people who's on deck next, and it just makes it quick and painless and easy. So that's definitely a time that I encourage two people. And then when it comes to like portraits of the two of you, wedding party photos, always amazing to have two people, especially like if you're wearing like a veil, we can have like one person that's like throwing it, or like, doing dramatic things with your dress, fixing your hair, straightening ties, different things like that, where you really do need that help to have a second person. So that's another time that it's amazing. That person's not necessarily taking a lot of photos. They're just there to be another set of hands in like the best way possible. And like I said, they have a photographic eye. So not only are they doing all of that for me, but we're like, what if we do this? Like, we're bouncing ideas off of each other, and it's just with you and our best interests. So That's another reason in another time where I feel like 2 is perfect. You really love 2 at that time. And when it comes to things like cake cutting and first dances and like bouquet garter, I totally think having 2 people at that time too is awesome, because it's just 2 angles, 2 points of view. Usually when it comes to like the dancing, if I have time, I'll get super creative, but I always want to make sure that I'm getting the shot, like the amazing shot of just you guys out there dancing, like lit really well. I'm starting to go crazy with my lighting. If I'm being honest, I'm getting bigger and bigger and crazier. And so I'm really focused on that. So the nice thing is, when there's a second person, we've got little weird, funky, I just have like a bag of tricks, basically. I've got this little gray bag that I pull out, and all my second photographers know about it. All my second shooters know. I'm like, hey, I've got this and this and this. Like, here's what I think that we should use. And then we're playing with it. Like, there's like CDs in there. I mean, there's just like weird, crazy stuff in there. So, we pull out my bag of tricks, and they get to play, and they get to create these beautiful images that are more creative. And same when it goes for like your portraits and different things too. They're getting super creative, because they can be, because I'm getting the safe, the creative, the fun shots, and they're going full blown artsy if you want to go that way. So so they really get to get you some really unique fun shots. So, like I said, I've done weddings before where it's just me. And like I said, it's doable. It's absolutely doable for it to just be me. But when you're putting 2 creative people together who can just bounce ideas off of each other, and like I said, just another set of hands that's there to help, but also has that eye, so they know if something's wrong, something should be fixed. They have wedding experience too, so they know how, like, where your boutonniere should be pinned, or like where your bouquet should be held, different things like that. To have a different person there who can help you with those, I think is awesome. And another point of the day that I didn't express when you need to is if you're getting ready in 2 separate areas. So let's say, one of you's in a hotel and one of you's getting ready at the venue. It's, unless you're going to have coverage start 2 hours before, everything really starts taking off and you're getting in your dress, it's nice to have 2 people there, because if I have to travel from one place to another, that's drive time in between. When you could just realistically have 2 people there, not too far ahead of when everything begins, and they're capturing things at the same time, and then they're moving on. So that's another time where I feel like 2 is absolutely necessary. If you're having a shorter day, realistically, if you're having like a 6-hour day, maybe you're doing like a first look, all your family photos, all your wedding party photos. Maybe you don't even have a wedding party if you're having a smaller day. And then you're going right into ceremony, being with your guests, and then, maybe you're getting introduced and going like straight into your dances and your cake cuttings and everything like that. You might not necessarily need 2 people there if it's a smaller day. So that's usually the time where I tell people it's totally up to you. It's up to like your values for the day. So if getting ready photos in 2 separate locations are super important, and you've got a lot of groups of family, do 2 photographers for sure. But if it's more of a smaller day, you don't have a wedding party, everything's kind of low key, you've got lots of time in there, you can probably get away with 1. So it's really up to you guys. Like I said, your values, what you decide you want to do. I can also get away with, if it's just a 1 photographer job and it's an outdoor ceremony, that's a lot easier for me to walk around in. So that's another thing that I always tell people is, when you're in a church, I'm super limited with where I can go at most churches. So the idea of me booking it from the front to the back, and coming up the aisle and getting the beautifully framed shot with you guys in the middle, like perfectly centered, I can't do that easily at most churches. And the time that I have to like quietly tiptoe to get somewhere and try and not be in the way versus when I'm outside, nobody can hear me walking around on the grass. So, I'm just wherever I need to be, super quick, speedy, grab the shots and move out of the way. And that's another time that we can get away with there being one person is honestly when it's outside. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope that gives you guys some ideas. There's a lot of photographers that are probably going to think a lot differently than I do, that are going to say that they're the only one that needs to be there. And I'm sure that they have a system for them. But this is just, over my 10 years, this is just kind of what I've learned. The times that it's me alone when it should be two of us, it's a struggle. It's a struggle for me. And my ultimate goal is to be there for you guys as much as possible and to be able to create these beautiful photos that you're going to have forever, and these memories too. It's not just about the photos for me, it's about the memories. So if I'm kind of being held back from doing that, then I don't feel like I can always do the best job possible, which is why having two people just makes things a lot easier for me. So I hope this helps you guys, and let me know if you guys have any questions about anything, how I can help you guys, and I hope you have an amazing Tuesday, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right, see ya.